Hello everybody, this is AK. I'm back. I really should stop doing this, it's becoming a bit of a pattern, 2 videos per day. I have another video scheduled for 8 p.m. But I saw this article and I just have to share it, right? We have heard stories of how millennials and Gen Zs are not as good with money and they seem to have different pursuits in life, financial freedom not being at the top of their list, that kind of thing. But I do know many millennials and Gen Zs from my reader base of my blog that they are actually very concerned about financial security, and many of them want to achieve financial freedom. So when I saw this article, I said, wow, this is another piece of evidence that there are millennials who do care about being financially secure and that they want to achieve financial freedom, right? So it's very refreshing to read articles like this. I'll leave a link in the description box below to the article in case you want to read it for yourself. So basically what this millennial couple did was they downsized, right, from a larger HDB flat to a smaller one. And now they are debt free. They don't have a mortgage anymore. And it's just a feeling of freedom. I can understand how that feels. And I have suggested this to friends before who live in bigger flats and with more space that they need, that they could possibly downsize, downgrade, and go for a smaller property. I mean, they might want a bigger property, but if they don't need a bigger property, why get bogged down by the housing loan, that kind of thing. And we can make an argument that wait, housing loans very cheap, why use the money, go and invest, that kind of thing. What for care about paying off the housing loan? Well, not everyone is financially that savvy, when it comes to investments, so they're not very good investors, or they're not very sure of themselves, they're not very confident, and they cannot take risk and volatility emotionally. Then for them, a dollar saved is a dollar earned. So it's for many people, actually this is a very good idea, downsizing their homes, right? And back in 2016, someone wrote to me as well that regarding this, about downsizing their homes for better financial health. I say, hi AK, my husband and I are in our late 30s. Right now we own a 5-room HDB flat. We do not have any children yet. We have plans to downsize our HDB flat to 3-room flat because there are only 2 of us. Even if we have children, the size of a 3-room flat should still be okay. We do not plan to buy anything that's more expensive than our current 5-room flat. I have a couple of friends who downsized their HDB flats from 5-room to 3-room, fully renovated very nicely, and was able to pay off the outstanding housing loan in full. And now their income purely for living expenses, saving and investments. So that also gave me the idea of downsizing. Please let me know if I've overlooked anything. So in reply to that, I told the person, the reader, that I like the tiny house movement a lot. Very often people overconsume when it comes to housing. Right, overconsume when it comes to housing, and that creates a lot of financial stress, which they really do not need to have to deal with, right? And in a country where housing is so expensive like Singapore, over-consuming on housing can really set us back financially, right? Everything else being equal, right? And if you feel that a 3-room flat gives you ample space, then you don't need any flat bigger than a 3-room flat, right? You might want a bigger flat, but you don't need a bigger flat. And so I think it was a very good idea for the reader, right? And to cap it off, I just said that you have a home fully paid means that you have both control and ownership of the home. It becomes an asset, right? If the home is not fully paid, we do not have ownership of the home, despite what property agents might tell you, oh, this is your home, you own it. No, if it's not fully paid, you do not have ownership, right? You have control over it, but you don't have ownership, right? If it's not fully paid, it's not an asset, it's a liability, right? Okay, so that's all. If AK can talk to himself, so can you. Bye bye.